But lobbyist is many things, or are many things. I mean, a lobbyist can be a person from a company with commercial interests, but it can also be a country, or it can be an NGO. The problem is with the voluntary register is that the information inside is not checked. I mean, if it's mandatory and if it should have any kind of impact, you need to check the information. Sometimes when I have checked it, I've seen that companies are writing whatever, and as long as nobody is checking whether it's correct or not, it's useless. Well, in fact, as long as it's voluntary, it does not really have any impact. I must admit that I don't check the persons, the companies or whatever I'm meeting in the register, and that's due to the fact that it is voluntary. I don't really think that I can use it. I think a mandatory one is very important, not just for me as a person or as an MEP, but also for NGOs and others, media and others who wants to check out who is trying to affect the decisions in Brussels. And transparency is needed in order to make sure that you're not corrupt or your politicians are not corrupt. So it is quite fundamental in a democracy. Well, in fact, if you take the three most important EU institutions, the Parliament, the Commission and the Council, you can see that the Council is the most closed one. So I don't know, that might be one of the reasons why they're reacting the way they are. Those companies who's not really willing to be a part of this, they always say, well, let's take self-regulation because that's the best tool. No. I mean, then we know that there are companies who are not willing to sign in and give us the true information. Or they might even give us, they might even, sign up for the register, but not giving us the real information we need, the real background about who are they owned by and how much money do they spend in order to lobbying around Brussels, etc. This kind of information, because they are the ones which are needed in order really to understand who is really trying to influence the politicians of Brussels. So no to self-regulation, yes to legislation.
The only effect it has is that you can see which clients your competitors has. So that's but that has nothing to do with what the purpose of it is. But the current model, I think nobody really has a problem with it. The decision makers control everything. They make the rules, and they can say no to meetings, and they can say they met with those lobbyists if they want. It's up to them to disclose what they're doing. And some is very transparent, and some don't want to be transparent, and it's up to them. It's part of democracy to engage with decision makers. And I also understand if some decision makers don't want to say that he or she have been meeting with some groups because it can come across if they have not done their work correctly by only meeting them. But it's up to people to elect some other politicians if they don't feel they are good representatives.
Well, I would say that in general the European institutions, there is an issue with lobbying. If you have a mandatory register, everyone will be in it, and if they declare false information, you could sanction them. We are extremely transparent, of course, on our proceedings. When you go to the voluntary lobby register, you can find all the information. On our own website, actually, you can see who we are, how we're funded. You can follow up on all the meetings that we have with lawmakers. So if everyone would behave like that, then lobbyism as such would not have that stench or that bad reputation.